There's maybe a couple of parts to it. The first part that pops to mind is whatever your message and your story is. And if you want to make your story compelling, then to the point where people will listen to it, enjoy it, share it, and that it's of value to the world, then it has to be, I think, in some respects, somewhat different. And different, again, is a purposefully ambiguous word. Different can mean brutally honest. Different can mean hilarious. Different can mean incredibly vulnerable. And for me, like, the stance that I took is that I would be very honest and open regardless of the potential backlash or what people thought of me. And it's like, really, that's also really worked for me. Just being willing to say whatever I think, largely. And that cuts through fluff and virtue signaling in a world where we've got so much of that and not enough truth. So it's served me really well. That's on the message part. The other part is obviously like where you put the message. So we're talking about platforms here. And fortunately, my business was built on social media. Like, I knew how to grow big social media communities. I know how to make content and videos, and I understand the algorithms and stuff. So I'm fortunate, very much like Gary Vaynerchuk is, that we've both got a message. We both work in the social media industry. So it's no surprise that like two of the biggest personal brands in business both ran social media agencies because they understood the platforms. And then there's all the other stuff, which is like fairly obvious, and I talk about a lot, like consistency. And not like that consistency where you're like, I'm going to do this for 2 months. It's like, are you willing to start now and then people sit here 10 years later and ask you questions like this? Most people would say no to that, but if you don't really care about the outcome, you care about really enjoying the process like I did. Like, I genuinely enjoy this. I found doing my podcast at the start when no one was listening really cathartic. I found it like therapy. It's almost inevitable if you're not a total idiot, because you learn so much from being consistent. In fact, you learn everything from being consistent. So like the first Instagram quotes that I posted were like, everything happens for a reason, like be positive, stay humble. Just total nonsense, you know what I mean? That no one cares about. But it was the feedback, like listening to the feedback, looking at the analytics and going, oh, no one cares about that. That's so cliche. I'll try something else tomorrow. And then you do that for 10 years, you become a master in anything. So all the answers are hidden in consistency, the development's hidden in consistency, the skill is hidden in consistency. My first video that I shot in a room like this with cameras facing me, I'm sat up against, you can find it on YouTube if you go searching for it, but it's a 2-minute video. And there's a reason why the video starts and the background is daylight, and then by the end of the 2 minutes, it's pitch black. It's because it took me 7 hours to finish the video.
Sure.
Because I was shitting myself and I didn't know, you know what I mean? And that again is, over time I learned, because of consistency, the skill of speaking to a camera and how to be more concise with my thinking. So I give a lot to consistency. A lot of people don't want to hear that though, because it's just, no one likes unguaranteed rewards 10 years from now. It's a really hard sell.